After Jesus said these things, he went out with his disciples across the brook of Kidron, where there was a garden into which he and his disciples entered. Now Judas, the one who betrayed him, also knew the place, because Jesus had often gathered there with his disciples. All that whole previous week, every evening he would go there with his disciples and pray. So Judas, having received a cohort as well as officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, came there with lanterns and torches and weapons. They want to make sure they got him. Then Jesus, knowing all things that were coming upon him, went out and said to them, "Who are you looking for?" He went out to meet the mob that was coming to get him, and said, "Who are you looking for?" Now remember, he had already been praying, begging his Father not to make him go through it. Find some other way, if there's any way possible. Begging, he prayed at least twice. Sweat pouring off like drops of blood, thick and heavy. He knew what was coming and he was dreading it, and he didn't want to do it. It was hard. It was going to be excruciating pain for hours, abuse. You know, when God gave David a choice, because David sinned in numbering Israel, he gave him several choices. One of them was to be chased by men for, 7 months or something? Or whatever, 7 months. Or let God chase him. He said, "I don't want to fall into the hands of men." He threw himself down and God sent a plague instead until David repented and made a sacrifice. Jesus was about to be turned over into the hands of men. Something David chose, a plague instead of. And when he was in that garden, begging his Father not to make him do it, his Father told him he didn't have to. We know because when he came out and Peter pulled out his sword and tried to cut off the head of one of the men that came to arrest Jesus, Jesus told him, "Put the sword up. I can call my Father and he'll send more than 12 legions of angels." His Father had told him, "If you can't go through with it, I'll send angels and they'll rescue you." But if I do that, those disciples you just prayed for, David, Moses, Abraham, they'll never get out of hell. They'll never get out of the heart of the earth. They'll be lost. They'll be stuck. Everything depends on you, son. But you don't have to do it. But if you want that prayer answer for them to see your glory and to be where you're going to be with me, this is it. And so he came out and said, "Who are you looking for?" They answered him, "Jesus, the Nazarene." Jesus said to them, "I am he." And Judas, the one who betrayed him, was also standing among them. Now, when he said to them, "I am he," they went backward and fell to the ground. That's the closest Jesus ever came to backing out of this. When his Father saw his heart and how it was afraid, the whole mob fell down backwards. And he knew his Father was serious. If you can't do it, you don't have to. And so he changed. So again he asked them, he's going to try it again now. "Who are you looking for?" And they said, "Jesus the Nazarene." He answered, "I told you I'm he. So if you're looking for me, let these go. Let my disciples go. Just take me. That the word might be fulfilled which you spoke. Of those you have given me, I have not lost one of them." Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it out and smote a servant of the high priest and cut off his right ear. And the servant's name was Malchus. So then Jesus said to Peter, "Put up your sword in its sheath. Must I not drink the cup that my Father has given me?" My father said that proves Peter was left-handed. If you're going to cut off my right ear, which arm are you going to be swinging that sword with? And you're not going to be swinging straight down. That'd cut my shoulder too. You're after my head, and I'm ducking. That's what took the ear off. Peter's trying to kill him. He wasn't trying to hurt him. And he said in another gospel, it says, Jesus told him, "Cut that out. You live by the sword, you'll die by the sword."